Hello everybody. In this video, we are going to replicate our to-do app, same functionality in JavaScript, but with a different styling. We're still going to use a little bit of custom styling, but not as much that we have. Right now in the one that we did in the last video, over 70 lines. So we're going to use a lot less, but we're going to style a little bit better using Bootstrap. Bootstrap is a CSS framework that pretty much have already some styling pre-incorporated, and we can use all those classes in our application in order to do whatever we need to have in there. If we go through the documentation, you can actually see, for example, some layout. We can specify different layouts, how those actually works. But let me actually go to the components, and we have some examples, for example, for alerts, of some for badges, for example. Buttons, different kind of button, different colors, button grabs, and all that is actually happening with different markup, with different classes that we need to apply in our code. So we're going to be using just a couple of those, not that much, and I want to show you how to stylize the application, have the same functionality, but styling with Bootstrap. So in order to get started, we're actually going to start with a new repository. So I will create, let me make this a little bit bigger in order to see it, right here, new repository, to do app Bootstrap, perfect. And I just pretty much getting this line on the top. I will go to my terminal, so I will create a new terminal. I'm in my to-do app pure HTML. I will go back one level. So I'm inside my week one. I do my ls or dir directory, depending if you're in Windows or Mac. And here I can just do a git clone and then paste this. So now I go to my to-do app Bootstrap repository. I open this one right here. Perfect. Actually, let me just go through here because I want to have this on the right. So let me open. I'm going one level back. Open my to-do app Bootstrap. Open. Oh, it's already here. Let me try one more time. To-do app Bootstrap, open. There you go. So now I have this directory there. I will create my index.html. I will do my HTML5 boilerplate. I will put the name is going to be to do app with Bootstrap, and I will put a simple h1 called hello there. I will run my live server from here. Let me see if everything is still working. There you go. So I can actually, now that I see my application is running, I can commit everything. I put it like init commit, like the init state. Okay. So we need pretty much to be doing, we need to apply Bootstrap. So Bootstrap have a CSS file that we can actually use for a CDN. CDN is a content delivery network that we just can actually use in order to get it, and we don't need to download it. Another way should be like download it and then source it in our code, but they already gave us something that we can just grab from the internet. And it used some JavaScript files. Bootstrap by itself has something there. It used Popper, that is some kind of library to do like popovers, and it requires jQuery. It's another framework for JavaScript. So let's actually get it all those. So I will get my link for the CSS. It's going to be after my title. And my script, I will get all the script. We don't actually need the last one, but let's get it. and it will get at the end and save it. Just with that, we see that the styling already changed. That means that Bootstrap has been applied. And we can actually do another commit. So let me verify this, added Bootstrap, and send it to master commit. Perfect. Now that I have that, let's actually start filling up my application. So something that, let's remove this. Something that Bootstrap have, something really cool, is a container. Actually, before following that, after this link, I will create another one that's going to be to my style.css, and at the end, I could do another script that's going to my main.js. The same way that we have the other ones, we will create those two here. Style.css and main.js. Added empty, let me commit that again. Added empty CSS and JS. Perfect. So I have my files there. Let me close this tab, I don't need it. So I have my 3 different folders, everything gets sourced and it's supposed to. Okay. So the first thing that we need my title, my to-do app with Bootstrap. There you go. And I want this to be centered on the middle. So something that, how we can do that, pretty much Bootstrap what it does is save everything inside a container. A container is a block element or a div element that already have some kind of spacing that doesn't allow you to get something to get to the top or to the left, right size. If I do container fluid, there you go. We have less spacing there, but container really is enough that we need it. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can actually see that we have some space in there, and that came up in my layout container. So you make different sizing depending where you are looking your application, and it just like that. It's pretty much what we did. Inside this container, I want to have my, and I will call this header. I remember how we called it before. Let's try to use the same names that we used before in our last, let me see my repository, in the pure HTML, here you go. Yeah, we call it header. So let's do another one header. And this one actually going to be there. Perfect. And then we need to have the form there. Before we actually put the form, I want to look some elements that we can actually use. So I noticed there's something called input group. And those input group actually look really nice. And have some of those have some buttons on the right. And let me show you like this one. No, something similar like this one. Where is it? Yeah, it could be something like this, but instead of doing custom select, we will do just an input device. So let me go to forms, actually input groups, and I will grab button group probably. No, I don't need that one. As you can see, you can look for a lot of those. But I want to grab something really simple. I'm not looking at it right now. Just give me a minute, guys. Sorry for this. There you go. This one. But so I want it's going to be my adding need to do, and this is my button. You can see it's already aligned and it's really nice to have it there. So it's actually the second one. So this one have the button first, and then the input. I need the other one, the one to the input. So I will pretty much copy this. I paste it inside my div, that is my form. Save it. I will have my recipe in there, looking sharp with what I need. But I will remove my area description and my area label. Those actually are useful, but a little more for accessibility purposes. Right now, for simplicity, I'm not adding those, but it's something that I encourage everybody to read, how to add accessibility to your application. And I will change that to add new to do. There you go. And my button, instead of having the name button, will call add. There you go. And I have button outline secondary. So let me actually go to my buttons and see we have some buttons on there. Button stack. We have the outlines over here. I don't like this one. I actually want to use the primary one. So I will take button primary and will substitute my button outline. I'm not saving it yet because I want you to see the change. So I make the change and you will see that my button, you have that blue color as the one that I needed. Perfect. Everything looking sharp. Let's add some extra things that we already did before. For example, my input, we have an ID of new text, the same as before, and my button, I already have the ID tag. I just will change to new BTN, new button. That's it. We are saving the same IDs to those particular elements. The markup probably changes a little bit, but it's just to adapt how Bootstrap doing stuff. Very much. So now that I have that, I would like to have my list here. I would like to have my pendings and my completed on the bottom. So let me actually add that after my header. So one way that if I select this div, I see where it actually ends. So I can go after, and I will do my to-dos because it's how we called it before. And I will have my pendings and my completed. Perfect. Now we need to have an H3 element that's going to be pendings like this. Yeah, I like it. It already have the sizing correctly. Perfect. And this one, let's do an H3 completed. There you go. And let's put those columns at the end. Now for the list, let's look for some kind of list. Let's see what Bootstrap gives us. And it's already given this kind of format. So let's stick with those. And we know that they have an active. So when something is active, it's actually blue. That will help us a lot when we do the hover thing. So let's actually copy this. We see that we need a unordered list of the class list group, or every item need to be list group item in order to have this specific format. So we paste this here and the same here. So our application is looking sharp. Perfect. Now we need to do some custom styling. For example, let's do my container. I want to see where my container is actually doing. So one thing that I like to do is background red, and it's not doing it. Container. Really important. Interesting. No. Let's do important. What is not doing it? Oh, it's container in singular. Interesting. If I change color, it's not doing anything at all. We're having style CSS, and we're importing that as style CSS. Yes. And we have the main JS, main JS. Everything is. So let me pause the video a little bit and let me know what is happening. And I find out what is happening. My style have a different name. So I need to change this, rename to style. There you go. This is a way to help us to see pretty much the background, and this is a way that I use to identify the sizing. So right now I can see actually the sizing for my styling. What I will do now, I will delete this, and before I do any more changes, I will add everything and will complete it HTML. Pretty much. So now that I have my styling, I do my container, and I want to do something extra there. I want to do a minimum height of 100 viewport horizontal. So if I do my background red again, now I know that it's taking the whole page. Before, let me comment this out. It was not taking, so I actually need that to take the whole page. That way, I can actually do something extra here. How to center this. And Bootstrap has a really cool flex utilities. So remember that we did before, like display flex and stuff like that, we can use as a classes. So in order to make this display flex my container, I just do dflex. Then I will change my direction to be actually flex column. Sorry, this column. There you go. And after doing the flex column, I will do my justify content dash center, and then my align items center. Flex column, justify content center, align item center. If I save that, and oh, my container didn't save my minimum height of 100 viewport horizontal. There you go. And now everything gets pretty much to the down. Nice. So that's pretty much what I needed to have everything a little bit center. What I like to do now with my title, so I can do this one class, I believe text center. There you go. So I have that one there. And we have some elements that will help us a little bit with the information that we need. Let me remove a couple of these items. I don't need to have that many. And let's put item 1, item 2, item 3, and item 4. Perfect. And I can probably use in my UL text center. There you go. This looks like a little bit how we do it before. So as you can see, I'm styling the application a little bit better with simple classes without modifying that much or knowing that much CSS. All that information is in the Bootstrap webpage. So now that I have that, what I like to do here, let me add some spaces. So probably I will do padding 4 They will make it like a padding top 4. There you go. Yeah, that's look a lot better. And we have already full width, so I will leave it like that. And I will do margin on those elements. I don't like that much, so I will do margin top 4 to separate a little bit more, but that same separation is going to be in my completed class too. So we have like a double and single. I believe I like the spacing now. Now let's work with the hover. So let's look if Bootstrap has something for that. It looks like it doesn't. Cursor. That's okay, because we can use the old styling. So we know that this list item actually are list group items. So I can actually select that with a dot because it's a class, and I can do cursor pointer. So there you go. And now for the colors, because I cannot apply the same color for both, I could use something as simple as everything taken from my pending. Pending or pending, so I put it pending since plural. Every list item that is inside my pendings, I will do color green. There you go. And I can do probably this one again with the hover. And I'll do background. And let's do the background. Let's do the background green and color white. So it's simple, perfect. And let's do this one similar. So let's copy all that, and this one is going to be completed. And this one is going to change to red. There you go. Green and red. Perfect. Another one that this needs to have my text. You know what? I'm doing it wrong. I don't want that. I want to use. Yes, I was forgetting that. We have the active class. So why are we repeating something where we have the active class? So we just need the. Okay. Let me remove all this. Sorry for that, guys. So let me remove all that. Let's keep it like that. And what I need to do now is be playing around with my active class. So if I add active, I have it there. Perfect. You have active here. I have it there. In this case, we can change it just a little bit. And I have already something created. So you will see that all my completed, we have the line. And when have is an active list, it's going to be red. Perfect. But we need to play with the active class now. And we're going to be playing with those. Perfect. So I believe we have the CSS completed. So let's put completed CSS. Actually, let's not do that yet. Here, this one we need to add the ID before we forget, and we call this pending list. Let's do the same list, then the same names that we used before. ID completed list. Perfect. And now I can actually add all my changes and put it completed CSS. There you go. And now we need to do the functionality. The functionality is going to be a little bit different because we have JavaScript, we can actually play a little bit with my query selector. So what I'm going to do is I will select all my to-dos items that have the list group item. That means all my list is going to be to-dos. And over here, I'm going to loop through each one of those. There you go. So I will look for each one of those to-dos, and I will take individual to-do. And in every individual to-do, I will add 2 different event listeners. One event listener for mouse over, and one event listener for mouse leave. That means whenever the mouse enters here, I will add the class active. With the class list add, we can add a specific class. And when the mouse leaves the element, I will remove that particular class. That will help us to actually just hover over. There you go. And here we have the colors. There you go. Perfect. Now we have that I is supposed to. Cool. Then we can pretty much add the same things that we had before. We have a get function that can do the get element by ID, and we get the new text. It's going to be this one. The new bottom is going to be this one, and the both of the lists is going to be this two, right? And because of that, now we need to do some changes in the new bottom list, and I will show that right now. So this looks really similar, with one difference. This section right here. So let me remove that. Let me save it. And let me show you what is happening. So if I add a new to-do, of course, let me just remove it. And it's empty. It doesn't allow me to add it, right? Somehow you have like a space that I accepted. So we need to add something new. We'll see that it doesn't have the correct styling, right? Why? And we can actually inspect this element. If we do right click in your browser, click inspect element, you will see pretty much the output HTML that we are looking. And the first thing that we're going to be noticed, as we hover over these ones, we'll see that this item have the list group item class, but this list element doesn't have that. That means that whenever we add a new element, we need to add that particular class. So let me close my inspector, and let me refresh this. And the only things that I'm going to do is, we know that with class list add, we pretty much adding a new class. So the only things that I'm going to do is, in that new to-do that I'm creating, we have the list group item list. That way, if we put new there, and we add it, oh, sorry for that, it's been there, but something is happening. All those new items, as you can see, are not being hovered over. The old one, they are, but the new one, they are not. Why is that happening? That is happening because these already run. So the way to actually fix this, we're going to grab all this in a new function. So we're going to create a function called fix hover equal is an empty function, doesn't require any parameters, and it's going to do something. And what it's going to do is pretty much execute that. If we run it like that, now we see that we've broken again the hover, because this function is never executed in our code. We fix that really quick. After declaring the function, just execute it. And with that, we simply have this. Excellent. So when we add a new one, that one is already working. I forget to remove that because I have my fixed hover at the end. So this what it's doing pretty much is whenever we append a new child, we run again this function, and we're adding those event listener to the missing element that doesn't have it. So I can create a new element here, and we have that hover over. Let me change this to be from completed list from pending list to completed. So just is a test. So this one actually is going to be added to the completed, and you will see that the styling is applying because we are fixing the hovering with the active or removing or adding the active class. Perfect. So we have that event listener working. Now we need to do the one for the key app. I want to, whenever I hit enter to be added, that's going to be exactly the same. In my new text, if I click enter without hitting the add button, it's going to be added to my pending list. And because the fixed hover is here, it's going to fix my hover for the elements. Why we are doing that again? Because it's how the framework works. So we need to work around the framework to make it work the way that we need it. So the last element is going to be a little bit different. So we have the pending at event click. That's actually the same. We send the event target, the element, and the list or the destination. And the item is pretty much the same. Actually, I believe we call it different. Yes, we call it like move, elements and destination. Let me put those here. We're doing exactly the same that we had before. But there is, and we have almost over. So if I click this one, it goes to my completed. But as you can see, it's hover. Because the last stage of my item is actually hover. If I click my other one, it stays hover until I pretty much pass the mouse over. There you go, those disappear. But at the beginning, the hover stage maintains. So how we do that? Really simple. We just do, whenever we append the new element, we just do element, do class list, dot remove, active. And it doesn't have it, doesn't matter, and if have it, we'll just remove it. That way, when we click it, it's not active by default. And now we have our to-do app application working. So let's go back to our index. Let's remove those extra listings that we don't need. And now we can start our to-do app. Cool. Excellent. Let's actually stage and finish the application. And let's synchronize the changes. While it's synchronizing, it's already finished. Let me just go back to my list of applications. So I go to my repository. Oh, it was already there, my Bootstrap. I have all the commits that we have been doing during this video. So I hope that you liked it. In the next video, I want to use another framework because I want to show you. I want to show you how to use different frameworks to styling your app. And the other framework is called Tailwind, and that's the actually that I have a little bit more preference than Bootstrap, and you will look why I'm saying that. So for now, let me wrap up this video. Any question or doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.